So, how many of you guys have seen this? Like, this picture gets shared on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, everything? Anybody? So, you guys, this is from a Fox News article. I think we can all learn a lot from this picture. That little boy told his mom he wanted to get his haircut like his best friend so that they could go to school the next day, and it confused the teacher. Like, he thought the teacher totally wouldn't recognize him, be able to tell them apart. For us, we can see there's an obvious difference. It's their skin color. But to him, he just saw that they had the same haircut, so he thought they would trick the teacher. So I feel like I'm credible to speak on this because I feel like I'm a multicultural student and person, and I think it's important for everybody to listen to because everybody should try to be more multicultural and open-minded. In 2017, there's really not a reason why racism is still like a top issue in the media and all over the place, and I feel like everybody has to start wondering why is it still there. Why is it that a child, as a little kid, will go play with anybody and not think anything, but as we start to grow up, we start to separate ourselves based off of differences, whether it's race, religion, anything, it's different. And today I would just like to discuss racism as a learned trait and that humans aren't born with it. And what we teach younger generations is like it has an influence on how they act. So first, I'm going to talk that hatred is taught to children by parents, and that is the main contributor to racism and violence today. Parents need to be more aware and conscious of what they teach their children. Whenever you're born, everybody has a blank, you have a blank slate, you're clear of anything. And obviously we all know children are like sponges, like what you say, they always want to be like you, wear what you wear. So while they're learning how to walk, talk, all of that, they're also learning their own belief systems, which I think a lot of people forget. Encouraging and demonstrating and advocating any type of hate, I think that it should be like considered child abuse because of all the negative impacts it has on children's brains. And growing up like that, you don't really realize that whenever you're older, the effects that you really just gave them by doing that. So sadly, there's many examples in the media of that can prove that children learn their racism from their family members. And the first one is actually from an article by Stephen Foster. This note says, "Maybe I'll not be able to come to your birthday sleepover because my dad will not let me go because you are black. Not trying to be racist, but my mom let me go. Happy birthday." So this is pretty sad. This girl wanted to go to her best friend's birthday party, but she couldn't go because her dad wouldn't let her because her best friend was black. So it was all over the news. It's just messed up that a little girl, she had to say not trying to be racist. Obviously she's so young, she doesn't even really understand what racism is. And she knows she wants to, but her dad won't let her. So that's just one example. And another example is from Mark Anderson. He wrote an article, and it's about high school students, and the boys were caught. They posted a video, and they were just saying a bunch of racist things. And once it went viral, and the school had made a statement on it, I guess you probably shouldn't go read comments on that, but I read the comments, and in the comments it stated there was just a bunch of parents in there they can say what they want, freedom of speech, blah, 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 and it kind of just showed that's where they got their ignorance from because their parents are in the comments advocating that. So racism is still a very, very prevalent problem today that I'm sure has affected everybody in this room, and now not everybody, but people in this room. And there's really no question why. It's because of how we are, we're pretty much the examples for the younger generation of what we teach them and how they come up. If we don't teach them to have open mind, they're not going to have an open mind. So my statement of solution is important that as we grow and mature, we realize that children look up to us and that we need to teach them love and not hate. We should teach them to appreciate each other and celebrate our diversity instead of showing differences. How about we celebrate our differences? Racism and bigotry should be ended, and we must make sure that our children are taught to love each other. Racism is a touchy subject that is often ignored to prevent any animosity, and Jennifer Adiz, a doctor, she worked and talked about it in the medical field, and she said no one knows what to do, so no one does anything. So ignoring this fact that it's there and that little kids are being raised like this and brought up to just be racist adults, it's an issue, and it only adds to the problem. If we can educate our peers and each other and let them set good examples for our children, we won't see change unless we advocate it, and then maybe we can make make a start, and our children like won't learn hate from their family members and friends, etc. So as you can see from the intro of the speech, if love is taught, then love will always overcome hate, because that little boy didn't see any difference between him and his friend. So many might believe that you can't make a change just because you're just one person, but believe it or not, just that one example, like that little boy obviously sees no issue, and she just posted it because she thought it was cute and ended up going viral. So it ended up making a big statement. She just posted it because she thought it was cute. Another Smith from the Journal of Applied Social Psychology wrote that some of you might be educators. Everybody has a different major in here, but some of you might be educators. So for the educators and people who are going to work in school systems and work with younger kids, it's your job to take over and maybe take in place what the parents aren't doing right and teach them how to properly raise your kid to not be ignorant assholes who see differences of people who are literally a person. A positive visualization is if we can make it a point to teach our younger generations not to hate, then maybe they'll be lucky enough to live in a world where racism isn't the #1 thing talked about all the time. So maybe they can live in a better world than we live in. And a negative visualization is if we don't change the way we're raising up our kids, our society's just going to get tore down. I mean, race is the major cause in like issues in the media and even wars. People are fighting overseas over religion and race, like just differences that really are stupid. So what I'm asking is just to teach your children to embrace, not even your children, just younger kids in general, embrace diversity and love and appreciate people for people and not on their differences. And that'll help start an ongoing issue. You should just make it a point to teach them positive things. In summary, racism is a serious issue and it's not a natural born trait in humans. As we grow up, we look to our parents and peers to help build our thoughts and belief systems. If we teach hate, our children are going to show hate. However, if we teach love and acceptance, our children will grow to become multicultural people with open minds. And a final thought that I want to leave you guys with is bigotry is learned, love is